we're getting live. There we go. Ads rolling. Ads are rolling. We'll let you skip through the ads and everything, and start talking about some Kansas stuff now. Real quick, I do want to try and get through my thoughts, and I'll go through and answer questions and comments. I just like to have them fairly stacked up after my 10 minutes of talking about how I want to approach stuff. Entering this week, I have two approaches. I'm going to have one approach dictated to about 14 lines, maybe 15 lines, and then the other approach dictated to 5. My first approach is what we've been talking about, entering Darlington, entering Dover, and entering this week. Is there are 4 guys who have been averaging laps led, fast laps, averaging speed, averaging top 5, running positions, and being able to get the lead on pit road. And those 4 people are Kyle Busch, Truex Jr., Chastain, and Denny Hamlin. Right now, those are my priorities. Those are the main guys that I want to play with. I want to at least have 3 of those guys in every line. Adding to that, based on practice speed, just based on where they're starting, my secondary priorities are Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell in terms of lap leaders. Those are the 5 guys that I'm entering this weekend, making sure I have ownership to. Like right now, I'm only through 13 lines. I'm going to end up having 20. I know I'm going to end up around 70-75% on Kyle Busch. I want to end at around 50-55% on Truex Jr. I'll probably end with around 60-65% on Chastain. I'll probably end up with 40% on Christopher Bell. That's where we're at right now. Larson, I'm debating on what I want to end up at, maybe 30%. But that's where my main lap leaders are going to. And the reason I broke it into 2 different strategies or 2 different approaches is because the ones that are like I have Bell, paired with Kyle Busch and Truex Jr. and the main guys, but I'm playing Bell in a situation that he performs better than I think he will be based on what the car has from the practice sessions. Now, granted, it's going to be the race in a different temperature today. It's I think the speed that Kyle Busch, Truex, Chastain, Hamlin have carried between the last 3 intermediate tracks are going to continue carrying here, and I fully believe that we'll see Kyle Busch lead a majority of the race. Kyle Busch is my favorite driver today, and so that's why I'm a bit hesitant on Christopher Bell. However, Christopher Bell is very, very cheap. It is very easy for Christopher Bell to pay off his price tag. I have him very easily hitting value, 5x value by default. I do believe that Bell is going to be running inside the top 10 all day. I have him as the favorite to lead early compared to Tyler Reddick. And so for me, like I said, I want to try and end up at like 35-40% Christopher Bell because I just like the guys that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. And the fact that, last week was a disaster. So I don't think people are going to certainly from listening to stuff, people are like, well, Logano had the best car at Darlington and, things just happened where I'm like, that is not the data that I took away, the education that I took away from Dover and Darlington. The education is I need to be playing more Hamlin, more Kyle Busch, more Truex, certainly a shitload of Chastain. And that's how I'm approaching this week in terms of lap leaders. Now, the fact that we have Chris Buescher starting the back should very easily go over 5x. Same thing with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. should very easily go over 5x. I have very little Logano right now. I have Logano right at 49 points today. He is probably the guy that I probably will have the least of the guys starting in the back. I like Keselowski. I like Harvick. It's telling me to play McDowell. I got McDowell projected for 29 points today. I don't like it. I think that projection is a little high, but even if I bump it down a little bit, now at 25 is not terrible. I think Gillen is probably the best play there, just due to the fact that when you're down there, if you're down there in terms of salaries, between the guys left over, Gillen's the best play. I'm trying to get off of either one of those guys and make my lowest or my cheapest guys be. Let me look real quick. Because I know there are several lines that I'm not going below Gregson. And there's several lines that I'm not getting below Chris Buescher, just due to the fact that, like I said, I like certain guys that I like, and we have, like Kyle Busch, $9,800. That's underpriced for me. I do have some Alex Bowman, 893. I believe he's underpriced. Same thing with Martin Truex Jr. at 10.4. I think he's underpriced. I think Denny Hamlin is underpriced at 10.2. And so I'm able to get three of those guys in there and then stick in the 7 and 8K range. And so I'm not finding a lot of my lineups going to the 5K range this week. And if I am there, I'm going to Gregson. If I'm in the 4K range and need the salary, I'm playing Gillen. But that's where we're at right there. I do love the idea of playing Chris Buescher and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. together. I like the idea of playing Keselowski, Buescher, and Stenhouse together as a pretty stellar bottom part of the lineup, and then filling in the lap leaders that you like. In terms of lap leaders, I'm trying to get all this out of the way so I can just answer questions. In terms of lap leaders, if we're looking at practice speeds, and this is, like I said again, why I have like 15 of my lines focusing primarily on the guys that have shown speed, and then 5 lineups based primarily on practice speeds. And so, in terms of practice speeds, and in terms of what I think we're going to see from practice, I have Larson and Kyle Busch projected for the most laps led right now. Following that, it's Martin Truex Jr., and then it's Christopher Bell, and then Ross Chastain, in that order in terms of the guys that I think are going to be leading laps. And so I think that's the main takeaways. Despite the fact I'm playing a lot of line, I'm 20 maxing and playing quite a lot of drivers. I'm being very aggressive with those lines. Like I already said, the ownerships I want to end up at. And I love this, not softer pricing, but I love the fact that the 5K range was really removed this week. I think that makes this a really, really fun week to build lines, because and same thing as last week. And if you're watching the lineups and stuff before the wreck started happening, the guys in the 5K range were working primarily based on just that they were just higher scoring, or the highest scoring guy there. They weren't necessarily hitting value. Like, thank God we don't have to worry about Cole Custer. He overqualified. I don't see him carrying the speed. Justin Haley overqualified 15th. I don't see him carrying the speed to stay there. I'm sure he'll lose a couple positions. And I think I even have Custer and where are we at here? I had Haley projected for 20th today. I got Cole Custer projected for 21st, so obviously they don't work there. Gregson, I think, outscores Burton, and I think he outscores McDowell. I hate the narrative that the TV is pushing, and I hate the narrative that players are pushing, DFS players are pushing, is that McDowell has been stellar. It's unreal. Bristol Dirt Race, that shit don't even matter. It's a made-up event. Like, there's nothing to take away from that. Talladega, nothing to take away. Dover, he got saved by the caution that happened in the middle of green flag pit stops. McDowell was going to finish like 27th at Dover. The Goodyear 400 never had speed, showed up and finished 7th late in the race. And so you can look at that and be like, hey, he's clearly finishing far better than his average running position. However, these are such extreme increases of positions compared to where they're running. I don't like that to stay. And yet again, I said I hated McDowell last week, and he did finish there. But I'm not trying to chase. I hate chasing Wreckfest. And so Burton, we can argue where he's going to finish. I think he'll be just undervalued. Same thing with McDowell. Corey LaJoie, 5,200. He's starting 20th. He's going to lose positions. Ty Dillon starting 17th. He's going to lose positions. Todd Gilliland, yet again, he's starting 31st. I don't even think Todd Gilliland gets a ton of positions here. I have Gilliland projected for 26 today. But due to that, he's looking like a better point per dollar play than other guys. And when you're down here, like I said, I'm not seeing the reason to go down to the 4K range today, just due to the fact that Yaley's starting 27th, Ware's starting 29th. They're going to at least each lose 4 positions. But Lakey's too expensive for that stuff, and so that's why I'm stuck at Gilman if I go down there. But I'm sticking primarily in the in the 6K range with Stenhouse, Busher, and even Keselowski at 7.4. That's where my builds are leaning at right now. All right, so now I got that out of the way. We can kind of start talking stuff. Hopefully, I answered some questions there, some worries there. Other guys I do have in lineups that I seem to be getting more than I thought I would early in the week. Harvick, I really like Jones as well. And that's where we're at. I do have William Byron, Elliott, McDowell, and Logano highlighted right now, just on my end personally, to try and at least get them in a couple lines. But I've pretty much found where I want to go today in terms of lineups, and so that's where we're at there. In terms of best chalk to fade, I think this is a race where you want to eat the chalk and get different with your lap leaders. We've seen week in and week out that the ownership is going to follow one lap leader, and I think that's either going to be Bell or Kyle Busch today. But even with that said, I'm going to be over the field on that, and so that's where I would rather make my pivot and just completely go over the field on lap leaders, and then just be comfortable running. Like I think Busher is a great play. I think Stenhouse is a great play. I think Keselowski is a great play. And these are chalk that we need to play just because they're cheap. And these are guys who are going to be running, in the low 20s and teens. I think the first fade that I would do would be Stenhouse, but still, even with that, this is a track to where I think Stenhouse is going to perform well at. When we look back at Stenhouse's finishes here, let me bring these up here. Back when I think the cars certainly had more power, and you could run around. Like last year, you just couldn't fucking do anything in the car last year. But when you look at where, when he can actually move the car around, he's getting top 20 finishes. And so when we back that up with his practice speed of having at least a 20th place car in terms of practice speed, that's why I don't mind eating the chalk with Stenhouse or Busher. And so I really don't want to fade the chalk today. That's kind of where I'm at. Good morning, Big. Good to have you here. Let's see. I just kind of answer that. And Logano would probably be the first guy that I would fade. I'll probably be under the field on Logano just because I like other guys more. Going on projections, I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna be very close to me because I really like both these guys. I literally have them projected for nearly identical points. It is separated by literally 0.15 points. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Hold on. I love them both. I think you should be playing both Hamlin and Truex. That's where I'm at. And so this is where I'm at. I've already made my bet. I know the guys I want to go with. I'm not playing Kurt Busch today. I'm not playing Cindric. I'm not playing Eric Almirola. I'm probably not going to play Blaney because Kurt Busch has not shown speed that I want to see this year on intermediate tracks. Okay, now 13th fastest car at Las Vegas, around a 15th place finish. Not going to do it today. When we get to Dover, just absolutely ran poorly, and clearly ran into issues, but ran poorly there. Darlington had the 20th fastest car. We could argue that maybe Kurt Busch is a 14th, 13th place car. That's not going to work for DFS today. So I'm not playing that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. When it comes to Kurt Busch, I'm trusting what we've seen the past 3 intermediate tracks versus just the one practice in conditions that we probably won't even be in today. I have Bell projected for laps led as well. This is a really fun week if you're making a lot of lines. I do have right now, I have 2 lineups with Tyler Reddick, one with Christopher Bell, one without Christopher Bell. The issue comes from is I just think Kyle Busch and Truex Jr. and Chastain and Hamlin have better cars than Reddick, and so we would need Reddick to lead right off the bat. And this is going to be a long race. I don't think we're necessarily going to see passing in this race. It's going to be on pit road or on the very, very long run. It'll be whoever has the long run car at like 35, 40 laps and not necessarily changed early. And so we're going to have, the restarts being the one place to make changes, and then either late in the run, green flag pit stops or on pit road. And when we look at green flag pit stops, and this is why I like Truex, Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Chastain, is these guys are short pitting. Like Truex is by far going to be one of the first guys to short pit the field. That's how you gain positions. That's why I like Truex. When we look back at, last week at Darlington, when we look at Dover, these guys were, well, maybe not Dover because we didn't have a green flag pit stop at Dover, or at least we did, but it was messed up halfway through. But Truex is gonna short pit. We've seen it at Richmond. We've seen it a lot this year. That Truex is gonna be one of the first cars to short pit. Same thing with Chastain. Same thing with Kyle Busch. Same thing with Hamlin. That's how you gain positions on a green flag pit stop. That's how you gain positions on a long run. And that's what I'm leaning more on than the practice data. That's where we're at there. Let's see this. Chastain or Jones. That's where I'll go. Yeah, I do support Sterling. He's a Patreon member, and he's I forgot, do you work? I know you're part of the new track opening up. And yes, like this, you should consider Chastain. Like this is what I don't understand. I closed out of the stuff, but I gotta look real fast. Actually, I'll just do it on DraftKings. Where are we at? It'll be easy. So like Chastain has not carried the ownership that he should. Chastain in the when we're looking at fast laps and laps led, led laps last week at Dover, had the top 3 car at Dover, had 27 fast laps at Dover, pretty much never in the lead, always having somebody in front of him. When we look at Dover, 38 fast laps. When we look at Las Vegas, 28 fast laps, 83 laps led. I don't usually just stat read the laps led and fast laps and stuff, but after going through, like as I said, nobody watches the goddamn videos that I make if it's not just titled a Cup Series preview or something, but I put it out early in the week and it still gets buried in the search. Anyway, like look at these guys where they're running in these races. Chastain has had a absolutely flying car. 3rd fastest at Darlington, 2nd fastest at Dover, fastest car at Las Vegas. Like, and he's $9,700. Like, I want to be at like 50-60% Chastain today. I want to be at like 50-60% Kyle Busch today, 50-60% Truex and Hamlin. Those are the guys I want to be over the field on. Like, and if it kills me like it did last week, then so be it. But the data is pointing to these guys being there in this race at some point, leading those laps and getting fast laps when they're not even the leader. Like we're seeing that at a outrageous proportion this year, is that the leader is not getting the fast laps. It is being spread out throughout the field of the guys who have the faster cars. And so I think you should absolutely lock Chastain in today. That's where I'm at there. Best 5 to 7K drivers. It is going to be your 6K boys. Is going to be, Stenhouse, Buescher. I think Jones is good. I think Keselowski's good. I think you should. I mean, I hate these fucking questions, man. I hate this. Is such a stupid question, and not in a sense of like how you build, but like all my lines today are built with 4 guys who can lead laps. Like for example, here's I don't just want to give shit away, but like every line I have today has 4 guys who are gonna get fast laps and laps led. I mean, it's not hard to do that. Now, if you're calling them dominators, which is why we don't use that, that is a slur here. That is a derogatory term that I refuse to use. If you're building like that, well, then you like you like have one dom line because there's going to be one guy who dominates the race, but you want to have the rest of the guys who are going to be getting fast laps and laps led. And so I want 4 of those guys in each and every line. And go into DraftKings and put in the guys that I say I want to be over the field on, and you can get those guys in lines. It's crazy interesting. It's crazy easy to build those types of lines today. You can get 3 9K guys in. You can get, you can get 4 9 and 110 guy in there. It's very easy, man. So those are the lines I'm building. That's how I'm going there. Let's see. I answered Gillen. Just due to the fact that if you're down there, he's the best play, but I'm not going on my way to play him. At the moment, I don't have any Logano. I'm going to probably end up with 2 lines. I might just full fade Logano. I haven't decided yet, but I'm certainly going to be under the field on Logano. I need to get Byron. I don't have any Byron or Elliott lines right now. I'm going to change that following the live show. I want to probably end up with at least 4 Byron lines. If you like it, I do have Bowman, actually. I know they're not identical plays, but I think Bowman is a pretty good play as well. I think he's in line to get fast laps in this race as well. No, you're good, CB. We need to really just completely throw out, how many laps does the pole sitter have? How many of this, that, like, ever since, like, this year's with the way they do qualifying, we're losing top 10 cars that are going to be starting 11th to 15th. We're losing the guy who should be starting the pole because they run a fast lap in the first race and they just can't carry the fast lap into the second race and start farther back than where they should. And so that's where especially Kansas, because I'm not saying Kansas races like other tracks, but it's such a perfect cookie cutter intermediate track. The guys who carry speed here are going to be the same guys who've been carrying speed at Dover, Darlington, and Las Vegas this year. I need to check and see I'll tell you what I have Bowman at. I don't know what Pearce has him at. I got Bowman at 53 points today. So that's 5.8x. Let me see where we're at with. Yeah, I mean, now Pearce usually gives guys way higher ceilings. Like when you look at the positions that Pearce does have guys projected for, he's usually playing more ceiling projections and stuff. But everybody he has projected first, I basically have fast laps and laps that given to as well, and so I think Bowman's a good play, but not a priority for me. Like if you end up on Bowman, I would not hate the line. But like I said, I currently have 15% Bowman right now. I'll probably end up with 20 when the day is said and done. That's I don't think so. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad that you watched it and stuff, because I think, and I mean, I didn't play a lot yesterday, but I hate not catching Zane Smith, man. I thought Zane Smith was way too trimmed out. That's why I like looking at lap by lap data and stuff based on other things, and that's why it's like specifically like the Kurt Busch question is, I knew I'd get a Kurt Busch question just due to the fact that he showed speed in practice, but he hasn't shown speed the last 3 intermediate tracks, and so I'm trusting the sample size of 3 full races compared to a 15-minute practice session that had yellows in it. So that's where I'm at. Man, you guys are hot and horny today, I see, which is probably good. Let's see. Yeah, and see, this is why I entered with like 5 lines. I'm going to be at least leaning or trusting more of the practice data, whereas 15 of my lines are going to be based on the last intermediate races. Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. I think, and I appreciate you guys watching as well. We have 76 of you guys here on a Sunday. I do appreciate it. I hope I'm explaining things correctly. I don't know. Hold on. I got a cough again. I don't know what is going on. I'm falling apart here. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys being here. and spending your Sunday mornings with me and listening to me and stuff. I just appreciate you guys being here. So thank you, Michael. In terms of Gregson, I think Gregson's the best 5K play today. Now, I don't think I actually have, like I said, I have McDowell at 29 points. I don't like that, but I do have to believe that he finishes at least 3 or 4 points higher than where I think he runs today in the race. But I like Gregson. I really do. I got Gregson for 26 points. I know that's a 4.7. But if you're down there, I like Gregson head to head with Gillen. And then, as I said, I'm not in the 5K range today. I'm really sticking with Busher and Stenhouse is like the lowest I go. That's why I have so much ownership to both those guys right now. So that's where I'm at there. I'm probably going to end up around. I have Larson projected for laps led and fast laps as well. I think he's going to come in lower owned compared to what he did last week because he burned people and people just have a short memory and stuff. Larson is like if I put in head to head between Kyle Busch, Truex, Chastain, and Hamlin, I think he falls probably third or fourth in between those 5 guys. Head to head, I think Larson will have a better run than Bell and Reddick. However, I don't see Larson run away with this race. I have him project the lead like maybe a stage and a half. I'll have lines built for that situation to occur. But in terms of my own personal ownership, I'll probably end up with around 20-25% Larson today. And I'll probably come in. I think that's where the field's going to come in as well. Maybe they're a bit higher, but that's where I'm at with Larson, just because I like other guys way more. Let's see. In terms of $5,500 and below, no Gillen. Let me look real fast. Let's see. Yeah, I've had McGee. I've had this cough for like a week and a half now. I don't know. I don't know. I did have COVID earlier in good old January, but I'm still working out and stuff. It didn't have any. I mean, it certainly sucked, but for me, I sound like a conspiracist here. For me, it was not bad. It was not bad at all. But I'm a very healthy male. I'm not overweight. Let's see. Let me rank these 5K boys here for you. You said without Gillen. Let me look. With no Gillen, let's rank 55 below. No Gillen. It would be. I would lean Gregson, McDowell, no Gillen. So Gregson, McDowell, Burton, LaJoy, Balicki, JJ, and I mean, like I got LaJoy for 19, I got JJ for 9. I'm just ranking them in terms of those, but the only 2 viable plays in 55 or below, I think it's Gregson, Gillen, McDowell, and Burton in that order. But I don't really want to play Burton today. I probably won't have any Burton today. I like Bowman. I would like Bowman with that line. I don't think I would do high dollar with Reddick and Bell in my line. If I was doing high dollar, let me find my line that I would do. Because hey, maybe you can play it and win some money, or not play it, but like if I was doing high dollar, where's my priority core? If I was playing high dollar today, I would have Kyle Busch, Truex, and Chastain. That's where I would go. Those would be the 3 guys I would play because those are the 3 guys I'm heaviest on right now. And I would probably not play Bell or Reddick in high dollar, but maybe that's where we're at. Steve was very, very nice. I didn't waste his time. I didn't ask him stupid questions. And I met him in the parking lot after as well, which was very, very fun. I went there. We got the ticket way back when. And then I was there and I was like, fuck it. I'm going to buy the meet and greet. And I ended up being the first one to meet him. And then I met him in the parking lot after the show because Lubbock's a very, very small town. There's like nobody there. Like the show maybe had like probably over 200 people, less than 300 people there. And it was on a Sunday, so everybody, was going to work and everything. And so the meet and greet maybe had like maybe 40 people in line. And then he hung out after his Steve was a really, really nice guy with fans. It's really good. I know some guys have had mixed emotions or mixed opinions of like how energized he is, but he'll talk to everybody, And so if you ever get a chance to see Steve and you don't want to pay for the meet and greet, just wait out by his trailer after the race, or after the event, and he'll talk to you and stuff. I bought this too, and I think I bought it because I really do hate the design of this. Like it's so hideously ugly. I loved it. The skateboard back there. I'll figure a place to put it out eventually. It's got Knoxville and Steve-O's. And I'm not crazy about autographs too, but I just saw that. I was like, well, I'll probably never have a chance to buy this again. I'll go ahead and get it. Let's see. I do appreciate that. The second part of that kind of threw me off guard. How much Gillen do I actually have right now? I have 31% Todd Gillen. And that's in 13 lines right now. It'll probably get closer to 20% when I finish building the lines and stuff. Like I said, I think the play is to not get to the 5K range today and play Busher and Stenhouse. I think both those guys are fantastic plays. I think Keselowski is a fantastic play. And they're going to outscore. There's going to be a huge drop off in terms of scores today. Like we're gonna have clearly some of the guys in the 5K range and below be in the single digits or in the teens. We're gonna have some guys in the low 20s into mid 20s, and then we're gonna have a ton of drivers that I think are gonna be scoring anywhere from 30 to up points. Like there's gonna be a gigantic drop off between viable plays and not viable plays, and so that's where I'm at there. Let me see. I'm not doing super chat. I'm not doing super draft today. But let me see. I'm not playing Kurt on the DK. But what's the point? If I was playing, let me look it. I looked yesterday when I was looking through, but I didn't finish. Let me look. Let me bring this up. I do apologize. Hold on. You want to talk about contests of suck. Super draft. So bad. So bad. You know what you should do? Take the money out of Super Draft and play NBA today. I got to make some lines. We've had a killer playoff NBA. It's been absolutely insane. Where's Kurt at? 0.4. Yeah, for Super Draft, I'd probably, instead of playing Kurt, I'd rather go to like Dylan or Stenhouse. I don't think you need to go to Kurt on Super Draft. But that's where I'm at there. They shouldn't be, but they might. I don't know. We'll just see. Yeah, I do agree. Like it's all but guaranteed. Like because NASCAR just loves. Did it rain last night? I didn't even check that either. If it rained last night, then it'll certainly be a competition yellow. Let me see. Oh yeah, so it's rain. Yeah, it's raining right now. Yeah, a little bit of competition caution, which I think really helps. Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Truex Jr. Those are the guys that I want to be on, and stuff. Well, Jordan does that stuff later. Regarding, do I ever think about those? No, because I'm pretty sure those violate DraftKings terms of or TOC, and I really wish Jordan wouldn't do that, because I don't know, because there's been times where like other people like run an optimizer, and DraftKings like run an optimizer on stream, and people will tweet at or email DraftKings being like, hey, this guy's showing lineups on a video or in Discord, run his optimizer, and then they get in trouble for that. To whereas I have no clue how Jordan hasn't gotten like any flack over that from DraftKings. Maybe they just don't give a shit. But I would never. Personally, I never show the lines that I make. I'll do it after the fact or once it's live and stuff, but I'll never show lines that I build beforehand. And I would certainly never build them on stream. I'll talk to you while I work on them. Like I've done that before, to where I'll do a live stream like late at night on like Saturdays or something, and I'll be building lines there, but I don't say who I'm playing and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure that is against DraftKings TOC. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's so you're in such a gray area. I don't really want to fuck with any of that stuff. That's where I'm at there. Alan, I do appreciate you showing up, man. I really do. I can tell you just joined, because I've only said Kyle Busch about 5,000 times in this. I love Kyle Busch. I'm not playing, or I'll be very, very low on Logano if I play him. I think you should have the most amount of Kyle Busch today, like a shitload of Kyle Busch. Not 25, not 35, not 45. I'm telling you, you should be like 70, 80. If you're playing one or two lines, just go 100% Kyle Busch today. If you're playing a 3 max entry, 100% Kyle Busch. Single entry, 100% Kyle Busch. That's where I'm at there. Yeah, that's where I'm at there. Yeah, we've had, I don't know if you're like, there's some people who might be in the true DFS stuff. We've had such a killer time there. I've almost taken down. It was pretty much like every other day for like, well, I didn't play a lot at the beginning of the Mavericks this last series. And I didn't play a lot in round one. I really, really like NBA playoffs, and specifically the 2-gamers, because it's very easy to project and see what guys are going to be playing and what guys aren't going to be. But like this week, Thursday, what day was it? Thursday or Wednesday? It was 2 days ago. We almost took down contest on that. And then on Monday, we almost took contest down again. It's been insane. I love the single entry. I love the sizes for contests as well. Like today on NBA, I haven't made the lines yet. And we're actually killing it on. We do have a good chance to do really good on CS:GO today, depending on what Simple and Bad News Eagles does. Anyway, I know we'll get back to the NASCAR stuff in a second, but I'm always in like this. Anytime I played NBA this week, really last 3 weeks, I'm in both $40 single entries. The $12, any $12 that pops up, I'm in the 20, the 27. I really, really love the single entries here for NBA. That's just me. And I look away for 7 seconds, and we got these boats left, because that's where we're at there. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't comment a lot on other people's content, especially if they're a friend of mine or a person I respect. Just personally for me, I wouldn't be doing the live shows that Jordan does. I like doing this stuff more, but I don't know. I think it's like poker, man. You don't give away what cards you have. I know we're all working with the same flop. It just depends on what we approach with our 2 cards. And so at least for me, I just couldn't. I just couldn't do that stuff. Oh man, the one day I don't play, like I played Super Chat last week. Yet again, I had Kyle Busch in the thing, and yeah, fucking last week was so fucking rough, man. That was frustrating. Last week was so frustrating. It was so incredibly frustrating. At this point, maybe I'll just do a super draft line just because I'm here and I've had to look at this so much. So let me see. Well, for champion, I want to. I'd probably put Kyle Busch back in again because 1.75. I think if he does run away with this race or leads a lot, I think he can get up there. And then I would certainly probably play Keselowski. Actually, I'm like. I play Busher for sure. I'd lock Busher in. I play Busher as a flex. I like Jones. I like Stenhouse. I love Chastain at 1.2. Those would probably be the guys that I would chase for flex, and then get your other lap leaders that you like in the line. That's what I would do. Yeah, well, we'll see. I think that duel will be ended pretty quickly. I think Kyle will win that. That's another thing. I know it's stubborn because somebody last year asked like if I would have people come on here and like talk like a radio show or something, and I would do that if there was no I would do that if there was a way for me to do it like through Discord or something. But even with that said, all I need is last thing I need is somebody, because look, I'm a troll and I see enough swatting stuff on Twitch. I've seen enough guys troll people online. I don't need to bring somebody on here saying they're gonna ask me a question, then start dropping derogatory slurs over my video and get it demonetized. But in terms of moderation, it's usually pretty easy. Like I said, I just missed the horny bot a while back. But turn that there. I love it, God, dude. I love these bots, man. It's crazy. Hey, love to fuck, then we're in. I love that, man. I love these bots. Is that, I don't know. I think I ran about the booth enough. I gotta make sure that I don't lose, because I haven't entered the 4 yet. The 5, ooh, I probably need to reserve the 5. Hold on. I'll do that right after. Because I am 20 max in a day. I need to make sure that I at least get into these. I'm just seeing where the contests are. So the 5 is the only one I'd be worried about filling up pretty significantly soon. Probably the next 45 minutes. So I need to get into that. In terms of the love affair, it's so, I love Waltrip, man. But is Waltrip running a fake tie? Like not tie. Tan. Is he running a fake tan? It looked like Michael Waltrip is fully embracing midlife crisis and going in there. Whereas McMurray, it's so weird. Like all the commentators are like clearly they're drivers, but like, Wally Dallenbach was not like awkward to watch. Randy LaJoy was not awkward to watch. Clearly BP was not awkward to watch. Darrell Waltrip was not awkward to watch. Whereas you kind of go up here and it feels like Bobby Labonte always has a gun to the back of his head to like be on the show. McMurray is the same thing. Like these guys it's such a weird thing. I don't know. I don't understand what for car favorite DK. You talking Cup? You talking NASCAR? That's probably what he meant. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to enunciate anything. It depends on what the reason. It depends on what you're doing. Like in terms of payouts and stuff, you can just look at the payouts of these contests. And so clearly the 44 pays out pretty good. And when I say pretty, I remember the days where we get like 27, 32% paid out. But the 44 pays out 25%. It's a shame that 42% of the price pool goes to the top 10 there. I'm pretty sure the 88 pays out well. And I never looked that high since because I used to do a lot of, or at least last year I was doing more, single entry or like 2-3 lineups. Now since I'm back to max or 20 maxing, I don't necessarily look at like the 88 and stuff, but like, the 88 paying out 23% is fine. For the payout structure is still garbage. Like I say, I'd love the 50, but 50 pays out 20. What is the Rainbow Warrior doing? 20. Like all these contests pay out like 20 now. So probably to answer your questions, 44 probably pays the best month. Pays the best. I don't know, man. I'm both like, yeah, it'd be nice to have football back, but I'm not ready for it. Like people are already doing. They're looking at the schedules. They're putting bets in. They're fucking doing mock drafts. I'm like, you guys are insane. You guys are crazy. I will worry about that the 4 days before the Hall of Fame game. And I think I'm going to do a lot more showdown contests this year because that's really I'm very happy that I'm finally able to figure out what I'm good at or what I can do good. So it's like NBA games that are like smaller contests, showdown contests for NFL, and certainly the preseason. I always love NFL preseason DFS. That's always fun. I had a really good year last year as well. Man, I wish I could answer this question for you, Aaron. I think compared to the issue doesn't come from where the line, and I'm pretty like I was asking Pearce this yesterday when I pulled the data because NASCAR was clearly just fucking shit up last week and stuff, but I could have sworn Gragson was just doing the super speedways and Bristol dirt. I could have swore Hemrick was going to run this race. I like the equipment where we've been seeing that, Haley has been able to carry speed in the top 20. Whenever AJ is in these cars, he's able to at least carry speed whenever we're not running into mechanical issues. I think Gragson is in a car that can run 20th today, but I think this is going to be really difficult for Gragson. I'm not saying this in Atlanta are the exact same, but the fact that, Gragson, who really has no experience on a cup car outside at like a real racetrack, and they clearly race different than the Cup Series, and the main difference being just how wildly aggressive this steering system is compared to the Xfinity car. That's my main concern with Gragson. Like, the car is going to be fine. It's if Gragson can keep it out of the wall and not spin out today. That's going to be Gregson's thing. I love that. I love that. I love that build. I love that. I love it. You can put a little bit more Larson in there. Like I think this is a race where I want to at least have some Larson, but I love that a lot. And we have Pearce and I tried it a while back. And I think it was more successful than we thought it would be, and we were expecting nothing. So I think our product on our side was not worth what we actually got in terms of engagement and stuff. 93 you guys here on a Sunday. I do appreciate it. We've been live for nearly 50 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, we're good. Does anybody even have COVID anymore? Is COVID even real? Is COVID even here now? Was it ever real? It was. Clearly it was. Don't YouTube, please don't demonetize me. I have not crunched anything yet. I haven't done anything at all. I cannot answer that question for you right now. I haven't looked. We'll get back to the NASCAR stuff real quick. I haven't looked at the pricing. When I took my initial look, like last night when I was reserving the contests, I saw that the 7K range was extremely viable. Like I'm pretty sure we got CP3. We got. Let me look real quick. Yeah, like we got Holly at 8-2, Paul at 7-7, Horford and Ayton both at 7-1, 7-2. I will say this, I'm probably going to pay down at center today. I don't think Horford. Man, dude, that's rough. Maybe I do play Horford. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But I don't like Lopez. I don't like McGee. You know, Maxey ain't gonna do it. Maybe I do end up on Horford. I don't know. I'll worry about NBA later. I think the 3K range makes it difficult. Like I think the chalk's gonna be Allen, Connington, certainly, probably White as well. But it's difficult to get both Luka and Giannis in. I think I'd probably go Luka head to head between those guys. But that's why I'm not an NBA tout, because I'd be a very boring guy. Let me look. Let's see. In turn, I like Stenhouse for more upside. I like Busher for a safer play. I think they're both great plays. The main issue with Stenhouse is he's either going to be stuck running 23rd all day, or he can get in the top 15 and be there at the end of the race. Whereas I think Busher's baseline is 20th. Like I don't see him doing much more than that. I don't see him doing much worse than that. I like Stenhouse there. All right, just because you're late and you explained why you're late instead of just begging me, top 5 plays are, at least for me, priority-wise, it's Kyle Busch, Truex, Chastain, Hamlin, and Larson in that order. If you want to take Larson out and replace Bell in that, but the top 4 guys are staying the same for me. It will never be. It'll never be. It'll never be, which maybe it's good. It really is just a bunch of dumb rednecks. That's really all NASCAR is. It'll never be. You can never change that, especially with how much I can't believe the truck race didn't have yellows last night. But with how much we wreck and the shit we tear up, that's where it's at. Ew. Okay. Showdown NBA is disgusting. That's gross. That's hideous. That should be killed with fire. Like, ew. That's big ugly. That's like so totally disgusting. That we're talking captain NBA stuff. That is gross. Burton, maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna have any Burton. I'd rather take the risk with McDowell, to be honest with you. Like I said, I don't really want to try and get different in the value range and just get different up top. That's where I want to be at. And McGee, because I am glad that you're here and doing that, and both watching and doing the NASCAR DFS stuff. But let me get that. But how do you do that? You know, asking you, what do you play for a wreck fest, for a late smash up type of wreck fest? That is, you can't project who's going to be there at the end. Sure, you could say like, oh, well, Kozlowski, Logano, Stenhouse, Busher have more chances to work there, and if they're wrecking for the lead, well, then it's going to take out some dominators and stuff. But I just, and that's something I have gotten away from more this year, and even last year, is just not even building with wreck fests in mind and just focusing on races going green. Because like Martinsville, hey, look, your first week, listen to me and ask me stuff, we won a shitload of money because that race went green. So I like building just based on green races and stuff, just because you can project who's going to do well, and you can have some flexibility in terms of your lineups and stuff. But if you're just playing, if you play the guys who are going to be fast and are going to be up there, it'll work for you even in situations where people get wrecked. That's where I'm at there. I can't do Suarez. Can't do Suarez today. I can't do NBA show. That's hell on earth, man. It's hard for me to watch basketball, much less do a showdown contest. That's why I like the playoffs because at least every game matters. It's at least interesting. But like regular season NBA, what a snore, man! I can't think of anything more boring to watch. Um, I don't think Bell wins the first stage because we're gonna have a competition caution. Um, I think Bell will run top 6, top 5 today. I think he'll get. I think he'll. I would trust Bell to beat Reddick off the start and leave the first 15 laps. Outside of that, I'm not sure where it's gonna go. Um, that's where I'm at there. The reason I'm off Logano is what has Logano showed us? Honestly, what has Logano showed us? Hasn't showed us anything. Oh, last week, when Logano had the fifth best car, the sixth best car, and everybody who was faster than him wrecked out of the field. And it literally took Logano having every contender wreck out to show speed. Like Logano having the fastest car at Darlington, having the #1 race rating. Okay. When we look at, and yeah, again, man, I talked about it in the video on Wednesday and stuff. When we look through the race, you can see the guys who had speed. Kyle Busch, Larson, Chastain. Those 3 guys had faster cars than Logano, and they all ran into issues. When we look at guys who could compete with Logano in terms of speed, Hamlin, Truex also ran into issues. So for me, I don't trust Logano to be fast in these races. I have Logano projected for a finishing position. Where we got? I'm giving Logano 16th today. I don't think that's crazy. Even if he moves up, he's not going to get fast laps. He's not going to get laps led. I'd rather go in the 9K range to get guys who are going to get those fast laps and stuff, So that's where I'm at there. That's why I'm off Logano and stuff. And you're still playing time if you want to look through that video. It's the Cup Series preview at Kansas on my channel. If you guys like the videos that I do here, I would really appreciate your support either through PayPal or Patreon, just to help us out, Pearce and myself out. If you want access to the lap by lap data, the practice speeds, like in an easy to read fact, like yesterday should have been a great example of how NASCAR just absolutely fucks up data of how they present it on their own thing. Consider joining the Patreon. Pearce and I put a lot of work into this stuff, a lot of time and effort, making sure everything is accurate, making sure everything is easy to read, making sure a lot of time and effort goes into actually projecting stuff, especially specifically for cups and stuff, for cup and stuff. Consider supporting us either through PayPal or Patreon as well. Haley's starting too high up for me. I think we're over 6 cautions because we get 3 by default today. You get the competition, stage 1, stage 2. We'll probably be at like 7 cautions or 8. That was another thing I saw. That was people were talking about, like, sure, this year cautions have been up on average, but it's more single car spins. It's not gigantic wrecks and stuff. And it's still not, or it's tires blown out. Man, it's not like these guys are just tearing shit up and stuff. It's more so, these cautions are coming out, due to like 1 car instance and stuff. But we're still having guys get lapped. Like, truck race, an example of just how drastically different the speed is. Shout out to Jesse Awuji, man, being parked for not being able to maintain minimum speed when minimum speed is based off of the slowest car in qualifying, which was Jesse Awuji, and that has like a 2 seconds slower than what the slowest car does in qualifying is usually like minimum speed. And Jesse Awuji still got black flag there. Favorite 6K play. Favorite play is to not get in that range today. I like sticking with Stenhouse, Briscoe. If we're there, I'd go Gregson and then Gillen. Probably there. Yeah. And as I did in the video, I should actually link the video. Hold on. Because we're kind of talking about it here, but let me go ahead. Like I said, if you the Cup Series Kansas preview that I did on Wednesday, it's on my channel. I even posted here. Check this out. I mean, this mainly has really all my takeaways and and opinions exiting the Darlington race last weekend. And I may have done a timestamp there. Either way, just watch the whole thing or put it on 2X. Go through it real quick today. That I'm really proud of content like this, compared to just who's the DFS plays and stuff. That's where I'm at there. Yeah, I can't do Custer. He's starting too high up. He's not showing speed. He's been saved late in these races. And Kansas is going to be brutal, man. It's going to be brutal. We're going to have guys getting lapped stupid fast. Like the discrepancy between, or the discrepancy, the difference of speed between the fast guys and the mid pack guys here are going to be huge when it goes green. And so that's that. And cool, we've been live for an hour. I think we're gonna call it there. Let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, build some lines, maybe watch the other video. If not, I'm just happy to have you here. Thoughts on Bowman real quick. I think he's playable if you land on him. I'm not going on my way to get him. I have around 50% Bowman right now. But Bowman is affordable, fits in a lot of lines. So that's where we're at there. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for just being here and chilling with me. And I'll see you guys next week. So yeah, thank you. Best of luck today, guys.